Here goes.
Boy, they sure did a good job brainwashing you there.
It was about 18 months.
The local Kids on the Block started in about 1984. I had a close friend, Jamie Higgins, and Jamie had a daughter, Heather, who we all know and love, and she was a little girl with spina bifida.
My mother and I were at a Christmas party for the Tennessee Spina Bifida Association, and the Nashville troupe was performing at the Christmas party.
Jamie took her daughter to see this program. She came back, she went to her friends and said, we've got to get these puppets.
She and her friend Alice Cummer worked very hard to bring this to what it is today.
I think so often about how this one woman went to see a program and came back, and she didn't have to do anything besides let her child benefit. And she came back, and because of that, hundreds of thousands of children have heard these messages, and it's just so incredible.
Kids on the Block's mission is to help kids deal with the differences within themselves and others, and to deal with a lot of tough topics in a way that they can understand and digest.
Of course, we go into schools, camps, daycares, boys and girls clubs, anywhere where we can get a group of kids together and we present programs. We have 19 different topics.
We have child abuse prevention, bullies and school safety. We have safety issues like fire safety, water safety, first aid.
I love the programs. I think they're very, they're right on spot with what kids are dealing with today.
Oh, I got CP. Oh, CP. What's CP?
I've seen Kids on the Block every year. I'm excited because it brings like an important lesson to life, like with puppets, and so it's like a fun way to learn about important lessons that you need.
It's probably easier to relate to a puppet because they're funny and they kind of look different and they're fun to play with.
Most people, when they come to talk to you, it's just like they're talking, and it's kind of like, it doesn't really get to you. Like you can zone out and it's like, oh, what'd she just say?
An adult was standing up there talking to them, they would tend to tune it out. But once we get up there with the puppets, they really listen to what the puppets have to say.
Kids on the Block, it's interesting and fun.
I think it sticks with them longer because they will come back from middle and high and tell me things that they remember about guidance, and it usually involves Kids on the Block.
Something that I feel is really unique about our program is the question and answer portion of the programs. That gives the kids an opportunity to ask puppets questions that they wouldn't normally ask an adult.
They can relay a message in a way that we as adults, as authority figures, just can't get through to children.
I had gone to school with my classmates from like kindergarten on, and I can remember they did a show about spina bifida actually. The kids, I had gone to school with them literally since kindergarten, had never asked me one question about why I walk the way I do, why this, why whatever. They were asking the puppet all kinds of questions. It was unreal.
We've even had kids reveal child abuse in there or severe bullying situations.
We were at a school and a child came up to me and we had just talked about sexual abuse.
This little girl come up and said she needed to talk and said, this happened to me.
And the child said, my brother made me do that. He said that it was a game, and if I didn't do it, then, he would never play another game with me again. So that child, found comfort because of, the way we present that child abuse program.
Before we left that school, her parents were on the way. Help was on the way for her. And knowing that happened once, it has happened before.
Within a matter of, like 30 minutes, this child was not going to have to live in a nightmare anymore.
I think people forget that the puppets really are real to kids. They really, I have people tell me, don't the kids know that, it's just a puppet? But when you hear a child ask anything from, why don't you blink, to is it child abuse if my mom's boyfriend pulls me across the floor of my hair, you know that they think the puppet's real. They wouldn't ask that question if they just thought it was a doll.
The kids come and talk to us and tell us these things, but then we immediately go to a teacher or a counselor or someone with the school so that they can get that help, so they can start healing from what happened to them.
We have almost 100 schools on the waiting list at Kentucky elementary schools to see our child abuse prevention program. So that's what really, sorry, I get emotional, motivates me, is that there's so many children that are in abuse situations that just can't see the program.
If there's one child in one of those shows, if they make a disclosure after the show, then it's worth it. It's just because this program gives kids the opportunity to get out of situations that are really not so healthy for them. I feel like every child needs that opportunity to see a show.
The kids get really excited when we come to their school. I mean, we can be walking down the hallway, they'll see us in our black, and you'll hear them say, "Kids on the Block is here! Kids on the Block is here!"
I'm super excited when Kids on the Block comes.
I like how they perform serious stuff in funny ways. They put a sense of humor into it.
I'm always asking Miss Clarity, when are they going to come? Because it's so much fun in our ordinary classes.
You know, Kids on the Block come to us every single year, every single grade level. They come and do programs free of charge.
They are out here day in and day out looking for sponsors.
And to be able to add another team of puppeteers to be able to go out and perform more programs would be incredible.
There's 4 permanent full-time staff members, 3 of which also serve as puppeteers. And yet they're able, just last year they were able to serve over 23,000 people.
We grew from 183 programs in 2013 to 343 in 2016, and that was with the same number of staff.
They can only do so many because they only have so many staff members.
Having that extra person there would take a little bit of the strain off of the 3 of us.
With more funding, we could serve South Central Kentucky well. Right now we're serving 4 out of the 10 counties. With more puppeteers, we'll be able to get into all 10 counties.
And it depends on the generosity of our community parents.
The numbers don't lie. The number of disclosures, the number of letters that flood in after these performances, allowing kids to write down their feelings, to disclose a harmful situation.
We're able to double our number of fundraisers, well, more than double, from 3 fundraisers a year to now we have 7. So that's helped us to continue to grow with programming, but we've also decreased some with grants.
When you talk about the power of the puppets, the real power is in the puppeteers. They have to be compassionate themselves. They have to care about what they're discussing with the kids. They have to be prepared to hear some things that are difficult.
We don't want, a child that, is just 30 minutes away not to receive our message just because we couldn't hire a puppeteer.
I love Kids on the Block. Kids on the Block is awesome. Kids on the Block is awesome.
I love Kids on the Block. I love Kids on the Block.
I love Kids on the Block.
Kids on the Block is awesome.